Hey guys, today we have another watch unboxing, and this is from a small watch company called Fairer. So they are a British watch company. They're independent. I guess you can consider them a micro brand because they're not, they're not a big name or anything. They actually manufacture all their watches in Switzerland, so they are made in Switzerland. But the company itself is British, and I have always looked at some of Ferris watches. I don't really like most of their watch designs actually, but recently they released a set of moonphase watches that I thought was pretty unique. So that's why I got here. This is called the Fairer Burbridge. It is a very unique moonphase, and they just came out with them. Basically this unboxing I'm guessing will be one of the few on YouTube right now because they just came out. I can tell you I have a little personal section here. Actually, they shipped these a little bit late. They were delayed. So because of that delay, they gave me a few extras. So this is an extra strap that they gave me because it got delayed. That's pretty nice of them. So you can take a look. Yeah, this is an extra. I asked for a granola strap because the one I asked that came with the watch itself that I bought was the Pilot. I selected the Pilot Blue. So they just gave me this extra strap as compensation for it being late. So yeah, this is pretty nice of them to do that. So take a look. This is the granola green strap. And the watch itself is pretty unique as far as moonphase dials are concerned. But yeah, this is your standard genuine leather strap. Fair, pretty nice. So it's nice that they gave it to me as an extra here. So this is British designed, ex-Swiss made. So let's see if there's anything else here. Yep, interchangeable straps and stuff. Okay, so yeah, I asked for a leather strap, but eventually I might change to a Milanese because, yeah, using moonphase dials, I like to use them with a Milanese loop. So I might change that. The watch itself is here. It comes in this sort of, it's interesting, okay. So it comes in a case that normally I don't associate with watches. This is like a case more meant for like lifestyle items, right? Like, like organizer, pens, like that kind of stuff. It's interesting it comes in this sort of case. Usually watch cases are like a box, right? So I'm used to having like watch boxes, but this is actually a case that you can just take with you anywhere. And it's almost like, something that you would see on lifestyle items, like, headphones or, things like that, that you might carry with you. It's interesting that they have it in this sort of case. Usually you have a watch box. And I don't see a need for this kind of case either, because when would you ever carry your watch in this sort of case? You would just wear it on your person, right? I don't really understand the use of this case. I'd rather prefer a watch box, but okay. Not to say that, watch boxes can't be like this. I have a Nomos watch box that's kind of like this, but at least it's like, more traditional wooden design. This is like, I don't know, it's kind of like a lifestyle type of case. Anyways, you guys ready? Take a look at the watch itself. It's a very unique moonphase. All right, here we go. Fairer. Okay, so it I guess their name is derived from explorer, wayfarer, seafarer, farfarer. So it's like kind of like this exploration related name. British design, Swiss made. Fairer with a passion creating watches are perfect companion of life's adventures. Okay, our watches are named after iconic British explorers, vessels, and locations. And indeed, this whole line of moonphase watches are named after various, I think, British people that have an influence in astronomy, which makes sense, right? Because it's moonphase. So they have one called the Halley, named after Edmund Halley. Then the Eddington, and this one's the Burbridge, and it's named after a famous female British scientist, rocket scientist, I believe. So, yeah, manual winding. Setting time, setting date, setting the moonphase. So that's the instructions for moonphase watches. Interchangeable straps. So I think this is pretty easy to change. It's not like the traditional watch straps where you basically have to use special tools and stuff to change it out. This one looks like it's pretty easy to change out. General care for the watch is stainless steel crown, bronze cap, water resistant, 5 ATM. I guess 3 to 5 ATM is pretty normal for most watches. Repairs. Alright. So yeah, this is the Burbridge model, named after Margaret Burbridge, who is a British-American astronomer and astrophysicist. And she made a lot of discoveries in the 1950s and beyond. And I think she's part of the reason she's really important is actually because it's not common actually for women to be in the fields of astronomy and astrophysics. So she did suffer a lot of discrimination, I believe, and she went on to champion a lot of women's rights and stuff in the field of astronomy. So yeah, she's an important British astronomer. So yeah, it's cool they named after her. So this is the little warranty and guarantee card. It's cool. All right, so here's the watch itself. By the way, guys, this is not a cheap watch. This watch cost $1,700 US. So even though it's a micro brand, this watch is not cheap. It's more in line with models you would find from this entry-level luxury brands like Frederic Constant or Oris, Yunhans, Longens. Those types of brands that kind of are around $1,000 to $2,000 or $3,000 range. So it's kind of in this affordable luxury watch range. So it's not like really expensive or anything, but it is, you know, definitely not cheap though. So it's in the $1,000 to $2,000 range. So $1,700 for this one. All right, let's watch itself, and then this is the strap. Again, this is a very interesting case, right? It's like something you might use if you want to carry your watch, like put it in here and carry your watch somewhere and like protect. Although I don't really see the use of this because you should be wearing your watch when you're going out. So why would you want to put your watch in a case and travel with it? I'm not sure. Like, you'd be just wearing it, right? So anyways, this is a cleaning cloth for your watch, which is interesting because I'm used to this being on stuff like like laptops, right? Yeah, I mean, sure, if I buy a pair of sunglasses or, you know, a laptop or something like that, I might expect a microfiber cloth. But okay, it's cool to give me one with a watch too. That's unexpected, but it's a nice surprise, I guess, to get a microfiber cloth with a watch. Nice. Okay, cool. You get that, and then this is the watch. Like I said, it comes with the Pilot Blue leather strap. This is the one I selected when I bought the watch, and then Farrer gave me an additional strap as compensation for the delays, right? So you have both the granola green and the Pilot Blue straps, which is nice of them to give me both. And I might change this out for a Milanese later on, although the leather strap is pretty nice too, right? And yeah, they didn't have the option of a Milanese or a stainless steel when I bought it, so that's why I didn't just go for that when I bought it. Okay, so this is very universal, genuine leather, okay. Alright, so this is what the watch looks like, and as you guys can see, this is a pretty unique moon phase, mainly because it's so prominent. So for most moon phase watches, the moon phase actually is not this prominent. So for example, I can show you guys my Frederic Constant Slimline moon phase, and this is actually a pretty nice moon phase as well. And it's you know, it looks really nice and everything, but you can see that the actual cutout for the moon phase is pretty small. It's just relegated to this much. It's just you know, the small little circle here with a half circle, actually the semicircle where you can actually see the moon and the bit of the stars and everything that Frederic Constant put on here. And this is actually pretty normal for a moon phase. Most other watchmakers, their moon phase is sort of like this. They have like a semicircle with, you know, a small moon or some stars in it, and that's really all you get, you know, in terms of seeing the moon phase. Whereas on the Farrer moon phase model, you can see that how much bigger it is, right, in comparison. The cutout is much bigger. Now the only other watch I could think of that has this kind of prominent moon phase is the new iteration of the Moulay Glashütte Teutonia 4 moon phase. And that one has the pretty large cutout on the side of it. Of course, that one's also more expensive than this watch by like $1,000. But that's the only other watch I know that kind of has like a really big cutout from moon phase. It's the Teutonia 4 from Moulay Glashütte. But yeah, this one is also even nicer, I would say, than the Moulay, because I mean, just look at it. It's got a pink moon. That's the part of the reason I chose the Burbridge model, is because the other models all have different colors, you know, like different Actually, they're different in many ways. The moon color, the background color, the dial color. So part of the reason I selected the Burbridge model is because of how unique it is in terms of the dial and the moon. You can see it's got a pink moon, which is already not very common. I don't know any other watch with a pink moon in a moon phase. I really like the fact that you can kind of see some of the stars in the background as well, and apparently this is all hand painted, so that's pretty nice. And the dial is a Arctic sunray dial, so the Arctic blue sunray dial, which is very unique as well. I don't think I know many other watches with this kind of, it's kind of like a sunburst dial, except it's this light blue color, which is really unique. So compared to the other models, there's I believe the Haley model is just like a kind of midnight blue dial with a yellow moon, and the Eddington is a salmon dial with kind of like a white moon. So this is the most unique out of the three, the Burbridge, because it has this Arctic burst dial and this pink moon. It just makes it stand out a lot more, I think. Another thing that makes this watch stand out is the fact that you can see that the shape is not a typical circular shape. So this is more like it's not exactly a tonneau shape, but it's kind of like that. It's kind of like curved. So it's not exactly a tonneau, but tonneau-like, where it's kind of curved. It's not exactly a pure round shape. So that's something that's pretty unique. If you look at the side here, you can see the little Fair logo here, and then you have a textured surface for the sides of the watch, which is pretty nice. And the case diameter is 38.5 millimeters, and that is just right for me. I would say it's not too small and not too large. I know these days a lot of people, actually the watch industry is trending towards bigger watches like the 42 millimeters, but yeah, that's a little bit big, and I like the fact that this one keeps it on the small side. Not too small, right? Vintage watches are like 34 millimeters or 36, but this one's 38.5. Not too small, not too large, just right. Then we have applied indices here. The other models have different kinds of indices, but this one uses the just applied indices. And yeah, we have a hand-painted pink moon, and everything's made. The indices are all applied with grade OL X1 Super Luminova. Pretty nice. And we have sapphire crystal here for the glass, as you would expect for a watch of this price. And then if you look at the back here, you can see the movement. So this movement is a Swiss-made Sellita SW288. Of course, Sellita is they're a pretty standard Swiss movement used by many watchmakers. I would say second after ETA, Sellita is probably the Swiss movement maker that is maybe the most widely used. I know my Oris, for example, uses Sellita as well. So yeah, nothing wrong with the Sellita. That's actually pretty popular, especially for a micro brand to use something that's already there, right? Usually micro brands don't have that many resources to design their own movement. And this one is it's called the Ma Elaboré grade movement with blue screws, and then we have the Fair on the bridge right here. So it is something a little bit bespoke, right? Compared to, like, it's not just adding their name to like a normal thing that swings around, but they actually put it in here embossed on this little bridge plate here. That's pretty cool. Alright, and it's got 18 jewels, so nice. So of course this exhibition case back is nice. It's automatic. You can see here, Swiss made, sapphire glass, 316L stainless steel, that's all standard. British design, and FCMP1110 is the serial number on the one I have. Pretty nice, and it doesn't say the ATM on here, but it is, oh it actually does, okay, 5 ATM. Yeah, didn't see it before, okay. Yeah, so you have your standard 5 ATM here, water resistant. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Very unique looking moon phase. Pull it out. And also you can see the seconds hand is this little arrow here, which is pretty nice. There you guys can see it, the arrow moving. yeah, this is a really nice looking watch. And this is the Salida movement working in the back. Again, it's not cheap, but it's competitive, you know. A lot of other watchmakers are in the $1,000 to $2,000 range. So yeah, this watch is competing, you know, in the same price range as like a Frederic Constant or Oris or Yunhans. Some of the cheaper Nomos might be competing with it, or Longines. Maybe like a more expensive Hamilton. And this really holds its own against all those brands, right? Like, I don't see anything here that would... This, in fact, I think this might even compete against more expensive brands because, well, I haven't really seen this design in a lot of brands, even more expensive ones, and just look at, based on the quality and design, I think it can even compete with brands, you know, in the maybe $3,000 to $5,000 range as well. So why not? It's good quality and designed really well. So yeah, not bad at all. You can compare it to the Frederic Constant. Of course, the FC has its own movement because FC is a manufacturer. They do make their own movement, so their movement is a little bit more decorated because this is their own movement. But design itself, yeah, the Pharaoh is actually probably more unique. I have something similar to this design in my Yunhan's Meister calendar already, but this one is I've never seen any other watch like this with a, you know, very prominent cutout for the moon phase, a pink moon. That's something I just don't see on other moon phases, period. Yeah, even this little arrow for the second dial, it's very unique. And then you have a date indicator. Forgot to talk about that. This little date indicator right at the 6 o'clock mark. So you do have a date. The Arctic blue burst dial, very unique. Even the shape, right? Very unique shape too. So it's like kind of like not exactly like a round shape or anything like this, but it's kind of like taking inspiration from some tonneau like designs, but it's not a tonneau. So yeah, it's just a unique watch, and again, not cheap, but still, compared to the other watches around this range, maybe even some of the Baumann Moise series could go down to this range, but I would take this over pretty much any of those other brands I mentioned at this price range. I mean, it's just, yeah, I haven't seen anything like it from those brands like this. So okay, so here it is on my wrist. So keep in mind, as an Asian male, I kind of have like a slimmer wrist compared to a lot of people, but still I think it's, you know, it's not too out of the ordinary. A lot of people might have a fit like mine. You can see it moving on my wrist here. And then you can even see the Pharaoh logo on the clasp here. Nice. The leather bracelet. Yep, very nice. So yeah, this is a really nice, unique design by Pharaoh. That's why I went for it. It's very unique moon phase. I really love the design. So hey guys, I just want to make a correction. This is not an automatic watch. It is a manual hand wind watch. So you got to manually wind it like this. It should be obvious actually if you look at the back. There is no piece here that's rotating, so it can't automatically, you know, wind it when you move your wrist. And yeah, it should be obvious actually when you look at the back. But yeah, it's manual hand wound, and in fact you can adjust the date here as well. Forgot to show that. So you can adjust the date here, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to make that correction. All right, so I just want to show you guys the lume on this watch because the lume is actually really nice. So in normal daylight or artificial lighting, you can see that the moon is normally pink and the indices are not lit up. But as you go more and more into the darkness, then you can start to see them start to light up more. Slowly lighting up here. So let's go more and more into the darkness. You can see this is what it normally looks like now. All right, so you guys can see the difference here, right? It's now lit up more, and then we can actually have it be complete darkness. But let's just take a look at the semi-darkness here. This is how it looks like when it gets a little bit dark. And then I'll show you guys what happens in full darkness. All right, so we have full darkness right now. Okay, so now in full darkness, you can see the moon is fully lit up and the indices are all lit up, and the minutes and hours hands are lit up as well. So yeah, I think this lume is really nicely done on this watch. It's really unique. and definitely shows off the prominent moon of the moon phase. Alright, so here's a more outdoor setting. You guys can see what the watch is like without artificial lights in the way. Yeah, I think it looks pretty nice. Right, I'm gonna look at it from different angles here as I move my wrist. Yeah, it's still pretty nice. So yeah, that's what it looks like outdoors. It's not completely dark yet, but it's getting there. Alright guys, so this is what it looks like with a Milanese loop on it. Like I said, I can change it out for a Milanese loop. Doesn't look quite as classy as the leather strap, but I don't know, it still looks pretty high-tech and stuff. You know, I personally like it with a Milanese loop. I think it blends well, but you know, some other people might want to keep it classy with a leather strap. I think they're both fine. But yeah, this is the Fairer Burbridge moon phase, one of the most unique moon phase watches I've seen so far. And yeah, it's not cheap or anything. It's still, you know, pretty expensive for most people, but let me know what you guys think. Would you get this watch? I do think that it competes very well with any of the top, you know, name brands and stuff. And actually I like this design better than a lot of what the big name brands have. So yeah, it's a pretty unique watch. And let me know if you guys have any questions. And as always, thanks for watching.